So what do you think makes something a tale of our time?
I think that the tale of our time shows that we're going through our own journeys at our own pace.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Our Times. This is a show where we discuss stories that move us, what makes them so meaningful, and why others could or should find meaning in them as well. This is not a spoiler-free show, so bear that in mind as you continue to listen. We tackle movies, books, podcasts, and more. Where there's a story, there's a reason to read or watch in today's case. I'm your host, Amanda Stevens, and joining me today in the studio is my friend and guest, Wendy.
Hi.
Welcome. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for inviting me.
So I am so excited to talk about the story that you brought today. But before that, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Wendy from Taiwan, currently taking a break from my previous office job in data field. And one of my projects at the moment is practicing to be a yoga teacher. And besides from that, I'm just learning to relax and be open and see how life unfolds.
Thanks so much for coming in today. What story have you brought for us to talk about today? We sort of negotiated about it in the back.
So today I've brought a biographical war drama from 1997 called 7 Years in Tibet. It's based on the actual 1952 memoir written by Austrian mountaineer Heinrich Harrer.
Yeah. We looked it up. This is as best as we understand how to say his name, Heinrich Harrer.
Yes.
And so this is interesting because the book itself is a memoir. It's like definitely factual. This movie is from 1997. It sort of adapts it, and it feels like it takes a few liberties to sort of make it more like play better on a screen rather than like the memoir, which is like, and that's just how it actually happened.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting because most of the things that are depicted in the movie, including like the very beginning, like what gets him started, and like basically everything that happens during his time is real.
Yeah.
It seems like it's one of those memoirs that makes you feel like, how can this all happen? Like, this is totally crazy.
It feels like a movie, but it's a true story based on a true story. Yeah.
Well, and most of it is true. Like, when I say it takes some liberties, it feels like it's mostly like towards the end, like when it wraps up the story, because Hollywood loves to give you a full, complete story, like a happy ending, that kind of thing. And real life, sometimes
not necessarily.
it works out. Yeah. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it is what it is. So
yeah, true.
So we kind of just kibitzed a little bit, but do you think that there's anything we should know about the movie? We're talking about the movie, besides what we just said.
I think at the core of this movie, it is a journey for Heinrich.
Yeah.
Played by Brad Pitt.
Yeah, so that's another plus for the movie. If you guys want to go watch it, Brad Pitt is Heinrich.
Yeah. Undergoes a radical journey of ego death and shifting from an arrogant and self-centered man to a humbled and compassionate father in the end. Yeah. So.
And I want to say, from my understanding, everything that happens in the movie, like, most of the events of this happen after World War II.
It actually includes before the beginning and after.
Whoa, encompassing World War II, the whole World War II, and then past that. More or less?
More or less, yeah.
Loosely.
Yeah.
We'll say loosely.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to like place this in history as we're talking about it, because a very dynamic time. Very dynamic time in history. So, okay. I just want to know what happens. So, Wendy, can you give us a summary of 7 Years in Tibet?
Yeah. So the story begins in 1939. Heinrich is a famous Olympian and a historical mountaineer. And he just completed the first ever ascent route, a mountain wall that had killed dozens before him. So he is treated like a superstar back home.
Yeah.
And then he accepts an invitation to lead an expedition to one of the peaks in the Himalayas, despite at the time that his wife is pregnant. So remember, the
no.
setting is 1939, so he knows that once he accepts the challenges, there's a big chance that he won't be able to stay by his wife. So he goes on this expedition. His individualism creates immediate friction with Peter, the disciplined expedition leader.
Oh, yeah.
So Heinrich treats Peter with open disdain, viewing teamwork as a sign of weakness.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Did he do his previous climb, like the reason that he's a superstar? He did that by himself, I'm going to guess?
I think he did it with a small group. So
Was he the boss?
I was.
It's not in the movie.
Yeah, it's not in the movie. Yeah.
All right, sorry. Continue. I was like, okay, I'm sensing. I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Bad vibes. Okay.
Yeah, and so the history intervenes. World War II breaks out.
Yeah.
So the British arrest them as enemy, throwing them into a prison of war camp. In captivity, Heinrich's arrogance worsens as he launches solitary escape attempts, hiding resources and viewing the other prisoners as dead weight.
Oh my God.
Peter acts as Heinrich's moral mirror, constantly calling out his selfishness. The emotional breaking point arrives when Heinrich receives the divorcing paper.
Yeah,
in the mail.
You have to divorce him at this point. He wasn't there when you gave birth. He's arrested. He hasn't.
That's
he can't contact
totally,
you. It's not his fault, but like.
Yeah, he made his choice.
Yeah, he left, and that's rough.
You can see that coming.
That's rough. As soon as he's like, I think I could go climb while my wife is pregnant. It's okay. I don't need to see the baby.
Yeah. So, alongside a note stating that his newborn son will be told his father died on the mountain.
Rough.
And this leads to the second act, realizing he has nothing left to lose. Heinrich reluctantly teams up with Peter and others for a successful escape in 1944.
Oh.
So only Heinrich and Peter are left together, forced to cross the brutal high-altitude Tibetan plateau. Stripped of his European status, Heinrich must rely on Peter to survive, causing their bitter rivalry to melt into mutual respect. Desperate for shelter, they sneak into Lhasa, the holy capital of Tibet, where foreigners are strictly forbidden. Instead of being expelled, they are welcomed by the locals. And here, Heinrich's still remaining ego faces a final test. Both men fall for a Tibetan tailor named Pema.
Okay. Oh.
Pema rejects Heinrich's flashy, self-absorbed advances and chooses Peter's genuine kindness instead. So witnessing their marriage is a devastating blow to Heinrich's pride, but he accepts it.
Oh.
Yeah, he realized Peter has found peace through loving others while he remains trapped in his ego. But the rivals officially becomes like friendships and like brothers.
Yeah, he's like really grown.
Yes, yeah,
Painful.
gradually, yeah.
Well, because at this point it's been like 6 years or so. Like,
Yeah.
Wasn't easy, but he did it.
Yeah. So in 1948, the story completely shifts. Heinrich is summoned by the 14-year-old Dalai Lama. The young spiritual leader is intensely curious about the outside world and gives texts to Heinrich to build a movie theater and to teach him Western science and geography. What begins as a transactional relationship quickly becomes a profound soul-saving friendship that fills a void for both. The Dalai Lama, isolated by his sacred duties, finds an older brother. Heinrich, plagued by the guilt of abandoning his own son, finds a surrogate child to protect and love.
Yeah.
While Heinrich teaches the boy about maps and technology, Dalai Lama quietly becomes the teacher of Heinrich's internal world. The boy introduces him to humility, patience, and the idea that true greatness comes from conquering oneself, not necessarily a mountain.
Ooh, it's a metaphor.
Yeah. Under the spiritual guidance, Heinrich's hardened exterior completely dissolves. So, in the end, the peaceful sanctuary of Tibet is shattered in 1950 by a brutal political betrayal and invasion by the Chinese army. Heinrich watches in horror as a culture that practices total nonviolence They wouldn't, the community wouldn't.
They're not going to fight back.
Yeah. And they wouldn't kill a earthworm while building the movie theater.
Yeah.
And now it's being shattered, invaded.
By like a violent invasion.
Yeah. By weapons and soldiers. And at the time, he stays by the Dalai Lama's side as the young leader officially takes full power to carry the grief of his nation. Dalai Lama knows Heinrich's life is in danger and commands his friend to do one thing he has been running from, which is go home and be a father to his real son. Yes. So he went back to Austria and he approaches his estranged son with quiet humility. So at the end, they hike on a Austrian peak together, not to conquer the mountain, but to share a moment.
To like bond instead.
Finally.
Wow. I have chills. Oh my God. Yeah. Whoa.
I didn't expect this like story happens, to be honest, when I picked this movie. I have to admit, like, it's the beautiful face Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
listen.
We would not be the first, nor will we be the last to ever see a movie because Brad Pitt is the featured star of the movie, right?
Yeah.
That's like 50% of why I went to go see Bullet Train. So I really liked it. It was a really good movie.
Yeah,
it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's 50% of why I went to the theater. So it's definitely there. I know we've talked about Troy. And that was the same person who was telling me about Troy. He was like, Brad Pitt, though. So, like, listen, it's a trend. It's a global trend. But this is like a really moving story. Wow. Oh, my goodness. So then how do I want to say this? How did you first encounter this movie? Is that like what got you there? Or did you read the book first and then you were like, oh, Brad Pitt movie?
Actually, I was just scrolling through on Netflix.
It's so true, yeah.
And it at the time, it took me a lot of time just to decide one movie to watch or one show or one episode.
Oh, that's me, yeah.
And I guess at the time, I was specifically focused on old movies. And I think I've heard this movie before when I was a kid.
You remember the title?
I
something
remember
like that.
the
Like,
title,
oh, yeah.
But I've never really finished it before. And then I saw the face of Brad Pitt. I was like,
50%, 60%. Like,
yeah,
I could watch Brad Pitt. I could watch 1990s Brad Pitt in a movie.
Yeah, he was beautiful.
He was very handsome. Yeah. You're going to watch him be tortured and think about his wife that he's abandoned and his son.
Yeah.
So, very good. Then let me ask you, what made this film... Oh, wait, no, first, before that, I want to ask you, sorry. Did you ever end up reading the book then? Or did you just watch the movie?
I just watched the movie.
And you know what? Good.
What?
You know most of what happens. So, like, good for you.
Yeah.
So, then what made this movie so meaningful to you?
Well, I think it shows a beautiful, messy journey of a man who starts out thinking he knows absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fundamental. Yeah, well, he was arrogant and selfish.
Yeah.
And who learns what it means to be truly humble in the end. I guess I sort of just believe that life brings the events and people one's need to learn from.
Sort of like fate in that way. Like you will encounter people who you are meant to encounter. The people who will make you better, theoretically, will find their way into your lives.
Yeah, but this movie is sort of an extreme example of it.
Yeah, this is like somebody who was extremely wrong and then happens to meet the Dalai Lama, who's like, maybe you should chill.
Yeah. So when Heinrich leaves Europe, he is on a journey for the self, all about his ego, his glory, and what he can achieve to prove his worth to the world. But Tibet forces him into a journey of the self. It strips away his trophies, his fame, and his pride, forcing him to look inward beneath the armor of his arrogance. He stops trying to conquer external peaks for his ego and instead takes the slow, patient journey of discovering his own humanity.
I like what you said. He goes on a journey for himself and then ends up on a journey of himself. Like, who is he?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, like, I said earlier, like, oh, the mountain is a metaphor. You know, the final peak he had to climb and conquer was his own arrogance in that way.
And finally surrender.
Yeah, and kind of like recognize, like, all right, you know, so maybe some things are greater than me. So what meaning do you think that others could get from this film? Or another way to say that would be, what do you think makes this a tale of our time?
To me, it's not just a story that captures a historical moment. It's a story that captures a universal human truth that we share. And especially today, our world is obsessed with external metrics, like constant achievement, accumulating status, and showcasing our lives.
Yeah.
We are pressured to have it all figured out. 7 years in Tibet directly challenges that mindset.
Face to face, like looking you in the eye with that one.
Are you sure?
Like, you really want to chase fame now?
Yeah. It reminds us that we're all going through our own journeys at our own pace. Look at Heinrich, his example, like back in Europe, on paper, he was at the absolute peak of his life.
Yeah, top of his game. You said he was like a celebrity, essentially.
Yeah. At the time, yes. But emotionally and spiritually, he was completely blocked.
Yeah.
It took him a failed expedition, years in a prison, a brutal trek across plateau, and 7 years in a completely different culture just to learn humility. His true transformation didn't happen overnight. It was a slow, painful, in the end, it's a beautiful process. So the story shows that it's okay to be a work in progress. It tells us that it's okay if our personal growth takes time. It's okay if we have to fall flat on our faces before we finally figure out where we are, who we are, and which direction we want to go.
Sorry for laughing. I was just thinking, hopefully not as bad as Heinrich. Like, I pray. But that is beautiful. Like, really, it, like, when you think about it in that way, like, I think that's really true, right? Like, somebody who seemingly he had it all, you know, but really, like, he was lacking in his priorities and his understanding of, like, what was important to him at the time, what was, like, going to give him lasting satisfaction, like, what's really meaningful to you that you can take with you into the future, right? That's where he was, like, you might say, spiritually poor, despite having all of these, like,
material
successes. Yeah. So that's really beautiful. And your progress can take time.
Yeah.
7 years. Technically his took way longer because it's 7 years in Tibet, right?
Yeah.
So but he started
more other years.
Yeah, it's like 14 years of Heinrich, like however long it took. So wow, that's really lovely. Unfortunately, we're out of time. But if you could give 7 years in Tibet a one-phrase subtitle of your very own, what would that be?
I guess it's the journey to the self.
So succinct and yet so perfect. Of the self to the self.
You know, like there's a line in Bhagavad Gita. It's like a classic in yoga and in Hinduism. It's called Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think for Heinrich, it's not yoga, but it's
the physical journey.
Yeah.
To the self.
To the self.
I love it. Oh my God. Well, Wendy, thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad this was a really interesting story. Thank you so much for like pitching this to me and being like, no, check it out. I think this would be really great.
Yeah.
So I've loved this.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And thank you to all of you listeners out there. This has been Tales of Our Time on Radio Taiwan International. I was your host, Amanda Stevens, with today's guest, Wendy. And today we were discussing the movie 7 Years in Tibet, The Journey to the Self, a tale of our time. We'll see you next time.
Hey y'all, you're listening to Radio Taiwan International. And if you're liking what you're hearing, we got so much more on our website. Go to en.rti.org.tw and you'll see a programs tab. Click it and pick your flavor. From current events to pop culture to island advice to fantastic fiction, Come check us out at en.rti.org.tw.